Well, hello and welcome to another fabulous Chubs Gone Wild. This is episode 464, recorded on October 10th, 2022. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Matt.
Aren't you excited to have another fabulous show?
I am, especially with the weather going to be 91 degrees today and sunny. But then the rest
Yes.
of the week is going to be in the 80s until the next week we get into the 70s.
Oh,
So
thank goodness.
it's going to be delightful.
I am so tired of this 90s weather. And now, granted, I'm very happy that it's not hundreds, but I'm saying get us down to some 70s.
Well, and the evenings have not they're always late evenings, early mornings are in the 50s. By the time, by the time we hit 10 o'clock, it's in the 60s. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very pleasant.
It's wonderful. I've been able to sit out on the porch more, especially in the morning time. It's so lovely. Anyway, well, blessed blessed Sukkot and happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian people as they worship Corey Hart and eat their turkey and poutine. And also happy Indigenous Peoples Day. That's very cool. Now, do you know what Sukkot is? And I
Um,
could be pronouncing it wrong, mind you, but yeah.
Yeah, I know it's something to do with the bowel movement.
No, but that is a close pronunciation, but
Oh,
that's something completely different. Okay, so this is actually one of the high Jewish holidays. Uh,
oh,
yeah, it lasts until it goes 7 days. And basically, it's based on the when they were lost 40 years in the desert. And so then what you do is you go and you build a sukkah. There's a sukkah. I don't know. What is a sukkah? Anyway, you build a little temporary shelter thing outdoors, and that's where you eat and sometimes sleep for like 7 days, so that it
I know
reminds
what
you
it is.
how
I know,
great it is to, have a house.
I know what it is because our friend and his husband,
Oh, yes.
they came over one year and trimmed my palm tree
What is that code for?
because they were making one of those in their backyard and they slept in it for the week.
Oh, there you go. So
Yeah.
yeah, you, you have been a part of that. That's great. I really didn't know about it, like what it was and stuff, until just this year. I've been kind of looking it up. So anyway, thank you. It is 20 days till Halloween, 45 days till American Thanksgiving, 70 days till Hanukkah, 76 till Christmas, and 21 days, just 21 days until TJ Zombie Girl retires. Okay. Anyway, it we also want to remind you about Patreon. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like My Life and Fragments podcasts, which are have 2 episodes that are now up on Patreon. Also, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our amazing patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. See how you can join for just $1 a month. All right. Well, this is October 10th, and in October 10th, well, on October 10th in 2004, the actor Chris Reeve, who became famous for his starring role in 4 of the Superman films, died from heart failure at the age of 52. 52.
Well, he had some problems before that.
Okay,
And
well,
it's
we'll find out
Christopher,
about those. I'm just saying that
it's
52.
Christopher
Oh,
Reeves, not Chris Reeves.
I just said Christopher Reeve.
No, you said Chris Reeves. It's okay. Go ahead. Not a
Okay.
big deal. It's just people know Christopher Reeves and not Chris Reeves. This is Christopher Reeves, who was in the well, not original, but the 70s and early 80s Superman movies that
Oh,
suffered from it was a horse accident, wasn't it, that left him paralyzed?
well, let's see. That was in New York. Reeve, who was paralyzed in a 1995 horse riding accident, was the leading advocate for spinal cord research. Opposed by, like Nancy Reagan and stuff until suddenly she needed it. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. But I just, 52, that's too freaking young. Anyway, moving on. Today, let's take a moment, pull ourselves together, center, and breathe.
Wait, how old are you?
I will be 52 this month.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I
So
said it was very like, oh my God, that poor, yeah.
so
Anyway,
that's what the stressing is for. Okay. 52. Yeah. Well, Michael Jackson was only like 57 when he died.
yeah, well, I'm not there yet, so I don't care.
Farrah
No,
Fawcett, she was about the same age.
Farrah Fawcett, I thought she was older than that.
Well, not that much older. I mean,
Yeah.
she died that morning of Michael Jackson's death.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and I felt bad because I'm like, ugh, it's going to be anybody that died that day is going to be totally overshadowed. But oh well. All right. Again, take a deep breath again. My thoughts help create the perfect working environment. I got some thoughts about that. I'm thinking about you, Tom. Anyway,
What?
what? All right. Time for see if we celebrate any holidays today. Well, today is no, we don't celebrate that day anymore. Hug a Drummer, Indigenous Peoples Day, International Stage Management Day. How many shows do you think you've stage managed?
One, and it was horrible.
That was the best show of your life. I
No,
wrote it.
I'm not saying the show was horrible. I'm saying I hated stage managing.
Oh, well, stage managers are, if you get a good stage manager, you hold on to them because they are fucking awesome. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed stage managing to a point, but then you had to work with people. Anyway, actors aren't people, right?
Right.
Okay, Angel Food Cake Day. Nope, cake decorating. I might do that later. I don't know. Also, it is National Handbook Day. Hug a Kevin. Kick butt. Love your hair. Metric. Online banking. Shift 10. Wonder what that does. Oh,
Oh, Michael Jackson was 50 when he died.
yeah,
Yeah, that's 2 years younger than you.
I know. I made it past a lot of people. Anyway,
Yeah,
also,
it was 62.
Farrah Fawcett was 62. Okay, that's yeah,
So I've
poor
outlived
thing.
both of them.
Yay! I heard a song this weekend. It was said that, every day that you wake up is a day that you beat death, and it's wonderful. It was much better than that, though. All right, it's also Native American Day. Walk in the park, tuxedo, powers of 10. The power of 10 will set us free. Doesn't go, doesn't go. All right, squid and cuttlefish. Thanksgiving in Canada. Yes, you have a question? Tom
No,
back?
I'm
Hmm?
wearing my hair.
Okay. Also, the start of Sukkot started last night, I think, believe. Let's see, we've got National U.S. Naval Academy Day. World Day Against the Death Penalty. World Homeless Day. That's everywhere right now. Mental health and porridge. Did you hear that some of the armed forces, well, one branch of the armed forces, maybe it was the army, was not able, came in like something like 25% less than their projected sign up numbers?
No.
Well, well, you have now. All right. Well, let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. I know we got lots of fabulous people just going at it. That's right, that author Autumn Hall. We also have upcoming birthdays. We got happy birthday to Bob, Carl, Tash, Tomas, Jeffrey. Oh, Roberta. Also that Princess Holly, Marin, Greg, Daniel, Joe, Joey, Braden, not Braden. Actually, Braden is the one who. Do you remember Braden Murphy?
No,
He ran for local office.
no.
No, fortunately, he lost his primary. Let's see. We got Ellen, Melinda. Oh, Melinda. She makes the most amazing cards. Absolutely beautiful. We've got Louis Daniel, artist Richard Munoz Moore. Fucking fabulous art. I'll show you some later if you want. It's just, he is amazing. Also, singer Casey Stratton. And we got Aussie Martinez. Aussie Martinez. Alrighty then. Okay, well, let's go back over here to my list, see what we're doing next. So I just never know. All right, we got feedback. No feedback. But some Chub hugs, and I'd like to send out a couple Chub hugs if you don't mind.
Okay.
I would like to send Chub hugs out to Judy Tenuta fans because, well, Judy Tenuta passed away this week. And nobody knew because it was a closely guarded secret that she was actually 72. Because she said when she first started, she said that she was born in like 65. So, yeah. But anyway,
I'd actually read that she was 60, I think 65 when she died. That was the first thing I saw.
yeah,
And then 72 started creeping out.
right. I think it was like her manager quoted her family or something and said, well, now that she's dead, we can let you know that it really was, yeah, 72. But I mean, you just couldn't tell. She was so just engaged in everything. She was so cool. And I really had some formative comedy because of her routines. So, anyway, and then also one of our friends, Lisa Ann, got into a very bad car accident. So, sending Chup hugs out to her. And also, I met well, I connected with a third cousin that I did not know that I had. And she recently lost her little life companion, poodle. And it's very, very sad. So, Chub hugs out to her. How about you? What you got?
Well, I do have chub hugs for myself since I showed you that I gave blood and you never asked how the what happened did everything check out okay? Like I normally do with you, and you told me you got blood. But okay, I get that. Also to the people of Ukraine, the people still mopping up in Florida, terrible, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and I think that maybe it may be it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about it on the show, do you want to tell us if anything's up?
No,
I
everything's
just
fine.
assume that you're fine
It's fine.
because, if something was up with you, you would call me and tell me. You'll never believe
No,
what happened.
no, I'd wait until the show because I know you don't like to talk during the week.
Oh yeah, right. That's me all over.
Yeah, I get it. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're a solitude kind of guy, and I respect you for that.
Solitude stands by the window. That's all I can say. All right. Hey, Golden Rule Services of Sacramento is encouraging all LGBTQ and BIPOC individuals to get vaccinated about for monkeypox. Signs of infection include flu-like symptoms, rashes, and sores that can look like pimples or blisters. Learn more at sacgrs.org. You do not have the monkeypox, although yesterday I got two pimples, one on my arm and one on my chest, and I'm like, oh my god, because I have not gotten the vax for it.
Well, and I still haven't got an answer on if you got the smallpox vaccine back in the 60s, do you
Mhm.
still need to get the monkeypox vaccine? So still haven't heard back on that.
Have you, were you just asking like me or us, or did you ask a doctor or person?
I have asked medical people, and
Oh.
how am I supposed to know that? Well, I went to school for it.
Well, it is the basically the same thing.
Oh, well, it's the same
Just-
vaccine,
Yeah.
exact same vaccine. So, um, yeah,
Okay.
and I'm not around that many people anyway, so it's not like it.
And that's why I haven't gotten it either, because I'm like, I really don't, I'm not out there doing stuff right now. So anyway, all right. Well, let's talk about a few queer headlines. Starting with Christian women sobs as she warns that Hocus Pocus 2 will unleash hell.
No, it's a Christian woman, one person that is
Yeah,
behind all this bullshit.
that's what it says. Christian woman
I
sobs.
know you said Christian woman. It just sounded like more than one person. It's just one. That
Okay.
I don't want you to bury the lead there. Some
Oh
bitch,
my God, if I hear
some
that
bitch
fucking term
is
one more time.
throwing herself on the fainting couch because
Mhm.
Hocus Pocus 2 came out.
Like
I
that other weird ass woman who is like, that's gonna put spells on all of us. Oh my God.
Well,
Like,
you can't listen to one way or another now without Bette Midler putting some kind of spell on you.
well, that's probably why they don't listen to that, like the voodoo song, I put a spell on you and stuff like that.
Well, that's shoot. They
They
have been
must not have any Jamaican music in their house.
okay.
Just saying.
No,
All right.
just telling you what they said, but okay.
They're nuts. They are nuts. No witch is gonna waste their energy on someone like that. Anyway, Mick Jagger had bisexual flings with two Rolling Stones bandmates, a new book says. Is this a surprise?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Trans student was voted the homecoming princess in a cruel prank, and now she refuses to step down. Good for her. Slovenia has
That's just
legalized.
remember that did that to Kurt too.
Yeah, that's right. And you
Yeah.
just watched all the Glee episodes, didn't
Well,
you? Are
I
you
haven't
done
seen them
yet?
all, but we're in the last season right now.
Okay. Are you watching the last season and being very confused as to what the frick is going on most of the time?
No, it's just I realized that they realized that people don't want to watch them in New York. They want to watch the Glee Club in Lima.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting from this whole situation.
Oh,
But it was funny because Cat,
yes.
yeah, Kitty. She goes, look, um, somebody, because she was going to get, she wanted to get Tina to be senior or to be the prom queen, and
Hmm.
the new girl that was on the cheerleading squad, she wanted to be it because she was a senior, and even though Tina was, but she's going. But let's face it, in the last 3 years, we've had no prom. Give it to a gay guy and Rachel Berry. So it's time that we get it out of the frickin' Glee Club and back into the Cheerios where it deserves to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Well, the thing that got me is I really felt like everybody, like the show producers, the big fans, etc., had kind of checked out during the last season. And it's sad because there's a lot of really good music in there.
Right. Well,
A
if you
lot.
watch the end of the fifth season, it sounds like a series finale.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Slovenia has recognized LGBTQ marriage and adoptions. That is awesome. Did you know that for a long time I thought Slovenia was a planet from Doctor Who? Turns out it's not. It's a country. Anyway, also Velma is now canonically gay, after crushing on a girl in the newest Scooby-Doo movie. Was there ever any question? I guess for straight people, they were in denial.
Oh,
I don't know.
well, in the 60s when it first came out, they weren't even, they weren't even second guessing that the smoke coming out of the mystery mobile wasn't pot smoke. Consider
Right.
none of the kids smoked cigarettes. Yet when the van opened up, pot smoke would or smoke would come out, and then Shaggy would be going, "Well, I'm really starving."
Uh-huh. Well, as a kid, I didn't get it, but man, as an adult, yeah, totally got it. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I mean, I never questioned it. I always thought she was little, I mean, she was super into Daphne, but hey, good, good. Anyway, now if Velma were here, she would be very interested in finding out what's up with Tom this week.
I bet she wouldn't, but okay. Um, let's
Well, I
see.
am.
Okay, I just you were talking about it yesterday about how Andor has not done anything for you, and I'll tell you, I what I told you was that I didn't get past the second episode. I mean, I finished the second episode, but I have not made any advancements to get to the third episode because other than the close, I don't care or know what's going on.
Hmm.
You know,
It
so
took me to episode 3 to realize who he was.
okay, I don't even
But
know.
he's
Okay,
from
so
Rogue 3 or Rogue One.
okay, sure.
I'll go into it later. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Mighty Ducks is back on Disney Plus.
Yes.
They go to summer camp. But what's really interesting is how much the kids grew up from the first season to the second season.
Mhm.
And there's one kid on there that looks like he should be the child of Sean Astin. He looks like a little Sean. They could redo Goonies right now and go, well, we got the kid who's going to play Sean Astin's part.
Wow.
It's kind of almost scary. And yes, like I said with Glee, we're into the first season. Sue just had a thing where she was trying to get Blaine and Kurt back together. It was,
Oh, that whole thing was so weird.
it was 2 episodes. It was very strange.
Yeah.
And then she had a little Sue saw doll that came in on the tricycle.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
Uh, on Lord of the Rings, I got through, I think it's season or episode 5. It's either
Mhm.
5 or 6, and Krakatoa goes off, and it looks like we're losing some cast members. That's how it
Yeah.
appears. Um, so that was interesting. She-Hulk, we're down to the final episode this week of the season, maybe the series.
Right.
But once again, I'm really getting into it, and then it's the end, and I don't know why. I don't know why they seem so short. And I mean, it's a 20-minute, 22-minute episode.
I
So
honestly think that as much as I think that one of the reasons they're doing that is because they really were using this to test the waters because I think they expected it to fail.
maybe, well, I know that they never thought about making this a film.
Yeah.
They said that this was going to be the first official series for um for the Marvel universe. I mean, they've had other things like Miss Mojo,
Marvel.
Miss Marvel, but
Mhm.
they're considering that as like a stepping stone towards
The
making
movie.
a movie. Yes,
Yeah.
not a series. So this because they want to figure out how to take minor characters and
Hmm.
make them a series.
Yeah, and this is a great way to do it. They've got a great cast. They've got good. The whole thing is good, except you're right. By the time you feel like you're just sinking into what's going on, it's over.
Right. Okay, so on Alone, finished season 9, and what was so interesting about Alone this time was that I think there was like 4 different characters that left because they felt bad about eating the animals. Now, these are survivalist people, right? The first guy left because he was just so sad that he had killed, I think it was a squirrel, and he was falling apart. I'm just so sad that this poor little thing. It's just, what have I done? I'm like, yeah. And the first thing you've been talking about doing when you get out of there is having a cheeseburger. Okay, I don't understand this hypocrisy here. And then there was one where this woman had killed a squirrel, and
Mhm.
the other squirrel came down and was at the body of the dead squirrel, and it was like yelling at her, and so that I felt kind of bad at that part, but
Yeah.
then there was another thing. Oh, I feel so bad about that beaver. I hope I didn't hurt the beaver. It got away, but it looked like I shot it. I feel so bad about the poor little beaver. But they did have one guy that I really liked. He was bizarre. I mean, I like the witch that was on there. I call her witch because she lives alone, has raggedy hair, and she spends well, she herself said that she makes all of her potions and medicines on, they're all natural and stuff. She's a witch. So, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
But
right. There is nothing
but
wrong with
but
that.
there's this one guy,
Stop
and
talking about my hair.
he liked to do skits on the cameras that they give them. So,
Yeah.
so it was Halloween, and he opens up the door and goes, "Hello," and there's this, and it's him dressed up. He made this little costume, and he goes, "Trick or treat," and he goes, "Oh, okay. All I really have are these berries," and the kid, and then it's back to him going, "Berries? Oh God, I was at a house where they had bear. Really? You went to somebody's house that had a bear? Yeah, it was really good. Oh God." And he goes, "So you don't want berries?" He goes, "No, I'm going to egg your house." He goes, "Wait, you have eggs? Come in, come in." It was very creepy. It was very creepy, but hilarious. It was really hilarious. And this was the first time, I won't say who won, but it's the first time in 9 seasons where a white white male, white straight male, did not win.
Well, good.
Yeah. Which was, I mean, because it was so weird. Because the guys who you thought were going to win were the ones that poisoned themselves with the beaver.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Okay, British Bake Off. This week they did Mexican food, which was,
They tried.
well, it was so strange. It's like, come on, they've got to have Mexican restaurants in England, don't they?
Well, or at least Spanish. I mean, the flavors are a little different, but I mean, it's not like an entirely different world.
Well,
I
like,
was none of them. There was two cakes that came out where they're like, okay, these are okay.
yeah.
Every other, even the technicals and stuff were just like,
How about the way the woman was trying to peel an avocado? I mean, she was just taking chunks out of it.
uh,
It's like, you peel the skin off. Don't you people? Oh my God. But then again, Jane and I were in New York. This was 1979, I guess. Maybe it was 79. It was either 78 or 79. Anyway, so we're in New York and we're at a bodega, and some guy comes in and goes, "What the hell is this?" And, well, actually, he didn't have that accent, but he comes in, he says, "What the hell is this?" And the owner goes, "Oh, those are called artichokes. They're from the West Coast." "Well, they could keep them. What the hell is that thing? It's terrible. Who would eat that?" And Jane and I are like, he. We're so much better than they are. Um, but I mean, it's what it comes down to is what's local,
yeah,
and so um I know that they have McDonald's and KFC's in England, but I don't remember Taco Bell, but I'm sure they have to, because even their tacos were pieces of shit.
yeah.
It
I
was
mean, how do you not? How can you fuck up a taco? I mean, obviously, if you're an amateur, you don't know how to cook, but these people know how to cook. How do you fuck
right,
up a
right,
taco?
right. It
Anyway,
was,
it was
yeah,
just weird.
it was weird. It was weird. But hilarious. It
Yes.
was hilarious. Let's see. Um, Still really enjoying Reboot on Hulu, and it's a must see. Um, I I'm almost jealous of people who can now binge through like the first 6 episodes because
Yeah.
it's like I'm reading it one at a time, and it's so funny. You just want more. Um, let's see, Mass Singer this week, going up against the Harp, who's Amber Riley, who played Mercedes on.
I read
I mean, we
a
don't
forum.
we don't what?
I read a forum where the hardcore Glee fans agree with you that that's her.
Yeah, well, even when one of the judges goes, it could be Amber Riley, and the whole audience is like, yeah, that's who it is. And, Jenny is like, I think the audience thinks that's right. Yeah, you think, Jenny? Um, and so, but they were up against she was up against two more people or two more acts. One was three guys. They were called the Mummies because it's Halloween, right?
Mhm.
And and then the other person who I can't remember it, and right away I go, that's the Brady brothers. That's the three Brady boys right there. And Sean's like, they haven't even talked yet. And I go, that's who it is. That's who it is. I guarantee you that's who it is. And then at one point, one of the guesses was, oh, well, that would be a good guess too. But I'm pretty sure that's the Brady brothers. And it was. And by the way, they're all in their 60s,
Mhm.
which is really scary. Greg's close to 70 too. That's
Mhm.
anyway. And then the other person, I didn't know who it was. I still don't know who it was, and I didn't write it down.
Oh,
But yeah, so we're still the Harp is still in the semifinals. So well, I think we're going to start a whole new group of people this week. Let's see. Quantum Leap did get an extension for their season because I think they start off at 13 now, and if
mhm.
you get an extension, they're up to 19. So and which is 22 is the top of the line, but these networks are not shelling out the money for terrible shows. So, and I don't blame them.
Right.
The second and third week, he bounced into an astronaut and a boxer. So, it's still a fun show. It really is. It's just one of those where you can, you're open. You can do anything with this. He can be a man. He can be a woman. He can be gay or straight or religious or, he can do anything. It's
Right.
so, or even a famous, he could go into a famous person. You don't know. Let's see. The Connors. Mark wants to leave Lanford, so he tries to. Well, he finally gets Ben, who's a stepdad now, to teach him how to drive because Darlene's such a cunt. And then the
Oh
rest of the
my
show is just
goodness.
what?
Nothing.
Oh,
Just
the
use the
rest.
language. That's your other show's language.
Oh, anyway, so and yeah, but I still like Becky and Jackie. They bring lots of humor to the show.
I don't
So
understand what they're doing with it. Everybody on the show is great, and she's turned into the person that we hate. What are
well,
they doing?
she's also the producer. Just
I
saying.
know. I'm
So
just like waiting. Like, is she gonna have a psychotic break at some point, and then they dial her back, or what?
yeah, I don't know. Well, they haven't dialed it back in 3 seasons, so I don't think
Yeah.
that's gonna. Let's see on Bachelor in Paradise. There were a few highlights this week. One of them was Shania and Genevieve double dating the two goobers that walked in, the goons,
Yeah.
and uh, and so they went out on a date with them. And what's so funny about that is if you're a fan of Bachelor the series, on the last Bachelor, I think it was the last Bachelor, both of them were on it, and they ended up both getting sent home because of their hatred and just they wanted to they were constantly trying to ruin the other. So it was like,
Mhm.
hey, you two need to go. They went on a double date and they both went home. And so and Shania actually was contemplating throwing Genevieve over the cliff into Niagara Falls because that's where they were at. So it was crazy. But so that was really funny. And then one girl gets so upset that she just leaves, which is funny
Yeah.
because that's exactly what my brother did yesterday. At we had like a family thing, that we do twice a year. We do the January through June birthdays, and then we do the July through December birthdays. And the last birthday is my brother's in September. So usually sometime around this time we do the second half of the year birthdays.
Right.
So my brother, after we ate, and he goes, oh, I'm gonna go put, because he's vegan, so I'm gonna go put my bowl and stuff in the car. So he put the bowl and stuff in his car, and then he drove away,
Uh,
just like the girl on Bachelor in Paradise.
without even saying goodbye.
Yeah.
She was so stupid. I mean, she's there for one guy, realizes that she doesn't have a connection with him, feels a connection with a new guy that comes in, and instead of staying and exploring that because she was actually one of the more interesting women on the show, just leaves. She's like,
Yeah.
no, this isn't work. I'm going home. I'm like, oh, okay. Hi, Nettie.
Okay. There's a new show on Netflix right now called The Mole. Now, this isn't referring to like a mole on your
Okay.
face. This is
Yes.
called The Mole. And it was a series back on ABC back probably 25 years ago. Um, and what they do is they take a group of people, they are mix them all into a reality challenge, but one of them is actually working for the producers. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and it's, try to figure out who the mole is. So usually it's pretty fun. This is hosted by Alex Wagner, which is weird because Alex Wagner is the newscaster who just took over for Rachel Maddow's time spot on MSNBC. And it's like, I know this was done probably 6 months ago, the mole portion of it, but it's weird to see. I mean, that would be like, well, actually, what's funny about that is I just remember the old mole, the series that was on ABC, was Anderson Cooper was the one that hosted that. So maybe it's not so weird.
Hmm.
Uh, I did see the Munsters TV, the new movie by Rob Zombie,
Mm-hmm.
and the problem is that Rob Zombie was trying to lovingly create the original series from the 60s. The look of it, even the humor. And the problem is that when you go back and you watch things like Gilligan's Island and um, mid 60s kind of Beverly Hillbillies, you kind of go, well, this is sure it's kind of funny, but it's bottom of the barrel humor. Um, it's very
Right.
simple stuff, and it's not particularly interesting anymore. I mean, Ellie Mae, bitching about the cement pond
Yeah.
was hilarious because she found a critter out there. Okay, in 2022, that kind of humor is like, white trash, and so you don't think about it, and that's what happens here. Is the first of all the costumes, the sets, and the makeup, outstanding, just outstanding. Because I'm sitting and watching this going, okay, why is this so awful? And
Hmm.
it's because it's not 1962 or 63 when this originally came out. And so that's what doesn't work about it. Otherwise, it feels absolutely like this movie must have been made that time period. I expected Rob Zombie, it was going to be scary or something,
Uh-huh.
maybe some, but it's a family comedy, really family comedy. It was odd, very odd. Yeah, and I found that I didn't care much for the characters much either anymore. But maybe I never did. But
Yeah.
we did find out how they got what was it, Spike? No, it's not Spike. Rover. Remember the dinosaur that was
Thought it
in
was Mike.
space? Is it Spike? Okay.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so they were on honeymoon, and they heard that there was a monster down in the French tunnels,
Mhm.
and so it was this little
Spot. Sorry.
spot. Yeah, it was this little probably looked like about a 5 foot, 4 foot long alligator
Hmm.
with horns. So they go, "Oh, this is great. We'll take him home." And so, which was kind of fun. I enjoyed fighting that out, but it's like an hour and 15 minutes of wow. They spent a lot of money on this, and it's really kind of bad. And then finally, what's really bad is hockey is back, and Sean's team is already losing.
Well, I bet that's fun for you.
Well, then what's really cool is he got me those uh earbuds. They're the earbuds, Apple earbuds.
Uh-huh.
So when I have them in, it's and he's screaming, I can barely hear it.
That's nice.
It is. I mean, it was so weird. I couldn't hear the whole house fan. I could hear a rumbling from the TV, just like talking from the TV, but it sounds so far away, like it's somebody else's house.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and yeah, because that's when he was watching that. That's where I wanted to be, at somebody else's house. Uh, yeah. And then other than that, I'm trying to think if there's any new things. No. Oh, I pooped myself yesterday. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Did you tell
on my
Big
way.
Daddy?
What?
Tell
Oh, yeah.
Big Daddy?
Yeah. So what happened was I got home and I knew that I had to go to the bathroom, but I didn't think that it was like right there. So
Uh,
what happened was my back windows of my car tend to fall down from the terrible roads that we have.
mm-hmm.
So I had gone over to the one next to the hedge and put it up. And as I'm walking, I kind of there's a tree right there, so there was a lot of leaves. So I kind of not really slipped on them, but it was just kind of a off, you know,
Mm-hmm.
off footing,
Yeah.
and that gave me a little splash. But I didn't think it did until I went to the bathroom right away and found out that it did. So
Wow. Have you
so
told Sean yet?
oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Well,
Okay.
it's so funny because we've been watching a lot of well, as we do, a lot of stand-ups, and
Uh-huh.
all the guys are always shitting themselves.
Yeah, I have noticed that, especially recently.
Yeah. So
A
I
lot of
think
poo. A lot of poo humor.
well, I think that what we're finding out is that, a missed, a you thought it was a fart, kind of thing
Hmm.
is more common than ever. And then when you do feel those grumblings, it's time to go poop. It's
Yes.
don't try to hold it.
You're not the only one who's found that out recently. But anyway, all right. Well, that was very cool. Thank you for sharing all of that. I have a little bit of overlap, not too much though, but I am in I think ending season 3 of The Good Witch at the moment. It's been a really fun rewatch. It's a very just calming, fun show to have in the background. Um, and then I finished the Halloween baking. Well, I didn't finish it, but Halloween baking championship, which I watch while I'm winding down for the night. I've caught up to the current season, the current episode, which was a little sad. But it's fun this year. I'm glad that Jim Henson, John Henson, whatever, he's back. Um, so it's been fun again, which is really good. However, since I don't have that to watch now, I ended up switching to because Tom had told me about all the fun stuff on Discovery Plus. So I put on Halloween Wars, and I don't like it. I don't. Oh my gosh. So you go from like sweet things like the Great British Baking Show Collection 10, you go for Halloween Baking Championship where everybody's just really nice to each other and it's fun and everything. And then you go to Halloween Wars where I'm 2 episodes in and they have had team members freak the fuck out, like one that was like storming off, going, "Get away from me! If you touch me, I'm gonna walk! I'm gonna walk!" And then another one who, like, I don't know, her blow candy broke or whatever, and she just had this breakdown and didn't come back, and they had to replace her as a team member. It was just, I don't like it. I don't like it. And they have to combine a pumpkin, a candy, and a cake elements all into one thing. And they're actually really neat elements, but and then there's this really bitchy woman judge. Oh my gosh, she's a nightmare. And you know what? I'm watching enough of these shows lately, and I think the British baking show doesn't do it that much, but the other shows always like they taste like this cookie, and then they're like, you know what I would have liked to have seen? Well, you know what? Nobody gives a shit what you would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen you add some almonds to this. Like it's there. Judge the fucking cookie. But everything, oh, I would
They
have
do that
liked
on
this.
they
But
do it on the British Bake Off as well.
well, maybe I forgive them more. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't noticed it. And now I'll probably notice it like every episode. But there's one thing when you have a master cook, even like, like on the baking show or Carla Hall or something like that, saying, you know what would have worked you might want to try is different from, oh, I would have liked to have seen this in purple. I don't know. It's just something that's irritating me right now.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, nailed it. Halloween is up on Netflix. I'm 2 episodes in. It's fun. It's just a fun show, and it's actually they're a little better this year. Not the Bakers. The Bakers are just as horrible as ever. But like the judges and Nicole Byer and the production values and stuff are actually a little bit better this year. So yay. Bachelor in Paradise. I agreed with what you said about the woman walking out. Um, I don't the two guys that came in, yeah, they're all big muscular guys, and I'm just like, can't you bring in somebody with like some body hair or
They don't have body hair. Well, the one guy does. The 37-year-old, not Mark, who's the 38-year-old.
yeah.
The other guy, but he can keep his body hair and leave because he's gross.
Okay, I guess I'm not I think I know who. Oh, yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
He
but yeah,
just
the only two that I care that I guys that I like on this show, like really like them, are the 38-year-old,
Mark,
and I like the woman that he is kind of hooking up with. I
right?
think she's really cool. And they might do really well together. And then Wells, who's not even playing. He's not even a cast member. He's the bartender guy that, like watches and makes sure people don't. Yeah, I like him. Yeah. And Jill is batshit crazy.
Yeah,
And then her all, well, yesterday I kind of went off and had a weird breakdown and everything. I'm so, oh, well. And I'm like, are you kidding? You spent 3 days crying, going from guy to guy, just acting like the biggest crazy nut in the whole. Anyway, so I don't know why I'm watching this show, but I'm going to continue to. Anyway, Rings of Power. Yes, I have only the finale yet to see, and I won't be able to see that till Heather comes back over 2 Thursdays from now. So it'll be a bit, but once they finally got going, it was really interesting. And the whole volcano thing, I didn't see that coming.
yeah,
So
neither.
yeah, so I was really glad. I was like, oh, you're doing something. Oh, so once they started that, but I still can't stand that kid. That yeah, he's annoying, and I just know they're going to make him some pivotal character. I will have to see him in season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but he'll probably become Sauron because he's such an idiot. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. British Baking Show we already talked about. So Call Me Kat. I have watched the first 2 episodes of Call Me Kat season 3, and wow, that just went in a really different direction I didn't expect. Um, on Call Me Kat is such a quirky show, and for all its foibles and issues trying to get itself figured out and going in season 1, they finally hit their stride in season 2. They were still quirky and fun, and then here they are starting season 3, and it's become network television, and I don't really, I don't know. I'm not enjoying it so far. And then the whole thing is about her and Max and figuring out if they're going to have a relationship. And then she gets back and she tries to comfort him, and he just like leaves her sitting at a table because he gets invited to like a possible three-way with 2 girls. And I'm like, what? What? Anyway, it's weird. Handmaid's Tale. I am 4 episodes in. Actually, I think I might be 5 episodes. I'm not sure because it's so boring. Nothing is fucking happening. It's all just the posturing between the 2 leads. Like the lead who went through the whole, thing, that who's the main handmaiden, and she's just like in every episode she's all big-eyed and her head shaking and she's crazy, and she's like, I don't know, I may kill somebody today. I may kill somebody today. And then the her nemesis person who just sits there and goes, I'm going to turn everybody to Jesus, and I may die today, but oh well, I'm my baby. I just, nothing's happening and I don't care. And then of course they're doing the same thing as like House of Dragons and the other shows where they'll just have one really gross, gory thing happen in an episode, like to be entertaining, and everything else is just posturing.
Well, I think what they're doing when they do that, they do it usually at the end of the episode. So they're trying to make you forget just how boring the last
Uh-huh.
50 minutes have been.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And
It's
why
just,
make it an hour-long episode if you don't have an hour to put in?
and don't make 12 fucking episodes that would be better in 6. And that's just another thing that's pissing me off, is that there are things that are 6 episodes that I'm like, you need to take this shit to 12 because you haven't told me the story that I want and you're already ending
Right.
it. And then so House of Dragons, I am completely caught up on that. And again, it's it's an entire fucking episode of the posturing between the 2 leads, and like how far can you go saying things to get the other riled up and then backing down and waiting for the frickin' king to finally die. And then on top of that, there's one really icky, gory thing that happens, and it's by somebody that says something out of line, true, but out of line, and brings it on himself. And then I'm not spoiling it for you because you haven't seen it yet. So just saying, same shit. Star Wars Andor. This is the story of Cassian, who was in Rogue One. He was the hot guy that was the leader of the team who died with her at the end of the movie.
Spoiler.
Oh, please. The movie came out 10 years ago. Anyway, but this is basically supposed to be his story. And right now, I just finished, I think, episode 5, and the story is boring. There has literally been nothing happening at all. And they've got 12 episodes. I'm like, you must be fucking stretching it, because right now, everything that you've shown me could be condensed into 1 to 1.5 episodes. So, yawn.
I sure wish they made 4X clothing though.
What?
Well, I like the clothes on the show.
Oh yeah, clothes is really cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. Although I was really glad that, oh, you haven't seen it yet, but so the asshole character who you've probably seen, the one who disobeys.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's been
Anyway, if you go back and watch it, you'll see there's one character who causes all this bullshit that's gone down because he disobeyed from what he was told to do, and he gets his kind of comeuppance, and
come up.
that's nice to see. Anyway, moving on. Interview with the Vampire. Have you seen this yet?
No.
Okay, so I wasn't sure I was gonna watch it. I ended up getting a promotion thing, so I watched the first two episodes of it. First episode, again, I was just like, whatever. Lestat, the actor that plays Lestat, was flat, and I'm like, Lestat is supposed to be one of those people that are so charismatic that you just can't not be interested in. I wasn't interested at all. I just found it whatever. Um, Formulaic, a big yawn. Episode two got way better. The characters started getting fleshed out. I think they finally kind of said, oh shit, let's fast track this into the better story. I'm gonna stick with it. I watched Prometheus, the movie, 2012, science fiction, turned out to be the precursor to Alien. What piece of shit.
Like I told you, you got to watch the one that came after it. It makes Prometheus look like amazing.
Oh, that's sad. And this was directed by Ridley Scott. And
Yeah,
it had Michael Fassbender, Charlene Cherise, Guy Pearce, Idris Elba, and it was just shit, just a piece of poo.
yeah.
And then I watched Werewolf by Night, which is the Disney. It's a one-off. They're only doing the one episode. It was under an hour long. And the only thing that I found interesting in it is that the one of the lead characters was played by Harriet Sampson Harris. If you don't know, she was Frasier's agent BB. Remember BB on Frasier? He was her agent. She's also like a big Broadway performer. Um, Sorry, one moment, please. So anyway, she was brilliant in it. The rest of it, why did they even bother making it? Honestly. All right, moving on. And then the last thing is Bros. I got to go to the theater and I saw Bros, and it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought, of course, technically it could have been edited a little tighter, but who cares? There were lots of laughs, lots of genuine laughs, great characters, great cast, just amazing pull. And I actually cried a little bit at the end too. So well done. You saw it.
Wait, so you're putting you want to put Lincoln back in the closet? Fine, here, let's put it back in the closet. And I love the scene with Deborah Massing. It was
Uh-huh.
so funny when he's going, well, you're going to understand this. See, I met this guy, and she goes, you know what? I have been listening to gay men tell me their problems for 26 years, and I am done with it. I am tired of this. Hey, I have my own life. You want to hear about my problems? No, of course you don't. It was funny. It was funny.
And when she turned and walked into that thing, and she's all like, "Who put this here? What is this doing here?" It was a perfect ad lib, and yeah, she was great. The whole cast, even when it took me a minute to recognize Amanda Bierce, even though I knew she was in it.
Yeah.
The whole thing was brilliantly done, brilliantly cast. Yeah, it's one that I'll actually go out of my way to buy when it comes out. So,
I won't buy it because it'll be on one of my streaming services.
well,
So
I know, but
but
I'll put it
but
on Voodoo just to support it.
but it's just it was well written and it was
Hmm.
well acted, and I thought it was super funny.
Yep.
And you heard what Brian had to say about it just by watching the trailer, fucker. Uh,
Well, yeah, you just can't with him. You know what I mean? Just let it
yeah,
go. Let it go. Let it go. Anyway, all right. We want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of you who have been told that you are too much of something to turn that negative into a positive. And Chubs listeners, you can do that by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. And if you want to get any of their Halloween stuff, you need to get on it like right now because with shipping times, you'll want to do that now. Ooh! All right. Let's do some advice here. Um, comes from Dear Prudence, slate.com. Go check them out. My 42-year-old son has recently filed for divorce from his wife of 12 years over her inability to have biological children. Personally, I feel this is horrible and petty. I have spent 17 years getting to know this woman and we get along well. I don't want to take sides here. My son is entitled to his wishes and desires, but if this happened to some other couple, I would definitely support the woman here. Is there a way forward to include her in my life? Should she want that? I wouldn't want to cause her any additional pain, as she was blindsided by his request for divorce by being a reminder of her failed marriage. I had thought to write an email saying that I would still be here if she wanted to stay friends, but I worry that that may make it seem like I don't want to be. Honestly, at the moment, I'd rather be her mother than my thoughtless son's.
yeah, I think it's. I mean, if she wants to still be friends, that's fine. But this is a another situation. This is the Henry VIII situation. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you
Good
couldn't give me
comparison.
you couldn't give me children, so go away.
Yeah.
You couldn't give in that case. You couldn't give me a boy. Go away.
Mm,
And yeah, I would hate. It's they can still be friends. Why not?
right.
And if the son has a problem with that, tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but I mean, there's so many things you can do with surrogacy and blah 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 and everything. Like that is just a stupid reason. I think it was probably he is either thoughtless or it was an excuse, one or the other. But absolutely stay friends with her. If she wants to stay friends, do it. I don't know how many of my friends and relatives, exes and boyfriends and girlfriends I've stayed in touch with. Sorry, I was just watching the personal grooming going on. It was very
Well,
cool.
yeah, I mean, it's just gross. When I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, I would do the exact same thing if all of a sudden Sean goes, "Hey, I want to have kids." I'd be like, "I'll miss you."
Yeah, I understand. All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's see what Dupree had to say. Please reach out to this woman and don't leave any room for doubt about how much you love her and want to maintain your relationship. Honestly, maybe even tell her the part about how you feel you'd rather be her mother. She's hurt and she needs you, and it sounds like you need her too. On a practical level, as you age, you're going to need you are going to need support and community, and I would bet she's more likely to be there for you than your selfish and seemingly heartless son. I don't think it's seemingly it's heartless to want to have kids and have that be something that you really need to do. But dumping someone anyway, we just talked about that.
Brad,
The son's stupid. Moving
yeah. Oh, hopefully he'll find somebody else who will give him healthy children.
and then they'll grow up to be gay and resent him. Ha! Oh, anyway, moving on. My kid. Oh, hey, Chubs. Hey, Chubs, how close did you sit to the TV screen when you were a kid?
It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
But
down
you
in
did
front.
usually. What?
Sometimes I'm on the couch.
Uh,
Sometimes I'm in my chair.
when you
Uh,
were a kid?
yeah.
Yeah. I usually sat on the floor as close as I could get without it blurring. Yeah. Anyway, hey Chubs, how loud did you listen to your headphones when you were younger?
I didn't listen to very loud.
I sure did.
Well, Carpenter's on 10 just doesn't really sound great.
Yeah, I understand. But Corey Hart on 10 sounded fucking awesome. Yeah. All right. Take a guess. Hey Tom. Do. Name three movies that were in the top 10 in 1985.
Why do you think I know what year
Because
movies?
I'm used to you knowing everything about
No, not what
movies.
year movies came out. I
Okay.
mean, um, I'm trying to think. I was in Los Angeles. I'd been there a year. I'm
Hmm.
sure one of them is not Legal Eagles.
No, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one movie I remember coming out that year. Was that the year Back to the Future?
Yes.
Okay. Um yeah, I don't
Okay. So I'll throw out a couple names, a couple actors, and you tell me what the name of. Okay. Sylvester Stallone,
no idea.
Eddie Murphy,
Um Coming to America.
Beverly Hills Cop. Um. Oh wow, Stallone did a lot that year. Damn. Sean Astin.
Throw Mother from a Train.
No, he wasn't in that one. No.
Yeah, it was.
It's Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he was the one.
Oh, okay.
The spaghetti. Oh no, no, that was My Mom is a Gangster. No, which one is that?
No, that was oh gosh. I love that movie. I watched it a number of times.
Of course you did.
Yeah, well, I mean, my mom was a huge
City
Stallone fan.
Slickers.
City Slickers. Oh, sadly, no.
Uh,
Sean Astin. We just talked about that one.
the Goonies.
Yeah, yeah.
Lost Boys.
No, actually.
Scrooge.
Dancing Hippos.
That was Fantasia, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, we had Fantasia, Police Academy 2, The Goonies, Witness, The Dream is Alive. I don't know what that one was. The Cocoon, Rocky 4, Beverly Hills Cop, Rambo, and the number one was Back to the Future with 193,144,445. So, yay. Well, we'll do something a little bit different next time that maybe you can guess a little bit better with. All right. Mr. Moose wrote in and said, hey guys, I baked a bunch of oatmeal walnut chocolate chip cookies. They are shown on a cooling rack, but I ate several already. Now, see, that actually sounds really good. I don't mind oatmeal cookies. I actually like them, but I just don't care for the raisins in them.
It's kind of reasons.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Moose. And you can see that photo over on facebook.com/Chubs Gone Wild. All right. Golden Rule Services wants to remind you, or well, wants you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sactrs.org. And with that, find all our links and contact information at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And we will catch you next time.
Bye.